way to jury duty. So it is 7:44 in the morning. I'm usually not up at this time, but I am up and ready to go. And I have my GPS all programmed in. I'm on cruise control. The speed limit's 70 and I'm going 71. So I don't want to. This is about where I got pulled over that other time because I was going too fast. So I don't want that to happen again. Anyway, I don't know what to expect. Well, I suspect that I'll get there and they'll start asking questions, and then they'll dismiss me because they'll see you're too old to be here, or you know too much, or you know the wrong people, or something like that. You know, if you know anybody in the trial, or anybody in the lawyers, or anybody in the whatever, you're dismissed. Anything about the case, you're dismissed. I don't keep that up on everything, so I'm sure I don't know any case coming about. All the cases that I've read about are probably way in the future. So there's no traffic at all. Here's something on the side of the road, but it is a man in his cooler with a bright green vest on. So I don't know what he was doing. So I'm sad because I had to leave Carolyn and Rob behind and Jamie, but I was happy because Jamie gave me a really big hug and kiss when I left. Does that mean he thinks I'm gonna die? I don't know. I prayed before I left so I could travel safely, but anyway, I was just glad to get a big hug and kiss from him. So that was a bonus. Made it all going down here worth it. I'm hoping I'll get back early. I don't know. I told Carolyn to make jam while I'm gone. I told Jamie get out the pot for her and the berries so she can do that while I'm gone. Or maybe she'll just want to sleep in. I don't know. Anyway, I have all my emergency stuff with me. The papers, the summons they gave me, and everything. I'm all prepared. I'm scared. Why should I be scared? All they want is bodies there to go through the motion, and they'll show me, right? They'll tell me, go this way, go that way, do this, do that. So I shouldn't be scared. I just need to show up, and they'll go point the way to go. That's what I'm telling myself. But I might have to be on stage and ask what they're going to ask questions to me, and I got to tell the truth. Yes. No. I'm practicing. I did go to jury duty one other time, and they asked the questions. They were picking out who they wanted. I don't even know what the case was about. I think it was like a teenager involved in something. I don't really know. But I knew the assistant DA was my friend. So really, I didn't have to answer anything. I could have just told them, and then I would be dismissed, which I was dismissed. But I was still on jury duty for the next trials. But I thought I just had to go to that one. I didn't know I was supposed to keep going. But the DA, that guy I knew, said, oh, it's okay. You know me. So it would have been the same, all the cases. So anyway, but that time they would ask me questions like, do you know anybody who is an alcoholic? Do you know anybody who's been in a wreck? Have you ever had domestic violence? Have you ever had, anyway, all these questions, and I had to say yes to all of them. And they thought I was lying, and then they'd ask the question, I say yes, and then I just was silent. And they're silent, and I go, do you want me to tell you about it? And they go, yes. So then I told them the story about it. But people were laughing, but I didn't really want it to be a laughing thing because it was, sad, kind of, and all true. Anyway, it was, how many years ago? 40 years ago that I did that. Oh, I'm old. 40 years ago. Maybe 42 years ago. No, 30 30, I'll go the other way. It was 38 years ago. Alright, my videos haven't been very good lately. But this time, maybe I'll title this something good like Jury Duty. And maybe that will make people watch me more and subscribe. I did get one new subscriber yesterday. Grant's in Mexico. I'm in the real Mexico, and I told him to tell everybody about my channel down there, but he doesn't see anybody except other little missionaries and stuff. So I said, when you get to Montana, tell everybody your grandma's YouTube channel, they can watch me. Is that naughty? I don't know. I'm paying Grant, every month on his mission. I pay towards his mission $200. So, maybe he could be out there getting more YouTube followers so that I can make money to pay his thing. I miss him, but I know he's in a good place. And he writes such one. I want to read my letters to you sometimes. He writes such good letters. But I haven't had time to sit and record like that. But I do want to read you his letter, his first one. And then he sent me another. Well, they're not letters, they're texts. And it's so cute. And Trevor and Misty should be so proud of him, how he's turned out. What a lovely young man he is. But they say, it's how when they get back from their mission, how they conduct their life and the choices they make then that counts. So, let's hope for that. Alright, oh goody, I gained. I'm waiting to see because it said I would get there at 8:40. And of course I want to get there at 8. I'm supposed to get there at 9. But I gotta park and walk to the place. And so I want to make sure I have plenty of time to find the place. So now it says I'll get there at 8:37. So I've gained 3 minutes. Am I going? Whoops. Sorry, I'm stopping and my phone tipped over. It's propped. I'm not holding it. So I hope I'm going the right way. I know. I've been there many times. Our jail is down here, and I hate to admit it, but there's times when I've had to pick my son up, Chad, because he got a DUI, and I picked him up at jail to bring him home. And then he had to do jail time. I had to take him down there and drop him off, and then go pick him up at the end of the weekend. So that sucked, but at least I know where. Well, that's the jail, but the courthouse, when Chad was getting custody of his children, I had to go to court then, and so I think this is the same courthouse. It is. I know it is. So I know where I'm going. But the parking lot, they said to park in the bottom parking lot. How do I know the bottom from the top? It's not on a hill. So I don't know. But anyway, last time I parked in the road, it worked, parking in the road. I hate to do unknown things. Unknown things are hard for me. Like, I like to get my gas at the same place. I like to go to church at the same place. Go to the temple in the same place. I don't like to go to the temples in other towns because it's unknown to me. And I'm not very adventuresome. So anyway, I'll survive. I'll have a story to tell, right? That's what I always tell myself. It'll be a memory, and I'll have a story to tell everyone. I can do it. I think of what Grant told me when he went somewhere. I said, were you scared? And he goes, oh no, people are there to help you. And he had to fly without a phone and everything when he flew to Mexico. And then they asked him, he went and asked the lady, a stewardess or somebody who worked there, he goes, where do I go and what do I do? And she said, just look at the app on your phone. Well, he didn't have a phone. They don't get to take a phone out when they're missionaries. The mission provides them with a phone. My hair looks frizzy. What's going on? So anyway, he said, I don't have a phone. So then she helped him. So that was, they're nice. People are basically nice. And if you find a rude one, then go ask someone else. I downloaded a bunch of things to listen to, and then I also have my CDs to play the music in case I don't get, my phone goes dead. And I even brought my crochet in case I have to sit somewhere. Do they give you, if I have to stay, do they give you a lunch hour? And then I thought I'll just sit in the car and crochet and listen to my music or whatever. I thought of everything. I have a lunch with me in case I need to eat and they don't feed us. I mean, they don't, you have to go somewhere to eat lunch. I know they're not going to feed us, but if I have to go somewhere for lunch, I don't have to go anywhere. I have my food with me. So I'm prepared. I don't have a change of clothes if I have to spend the night. I'm not spending the night. I'm going to go home. I got up at 6. I woke up at about 5:10 because I'm nervous, and I never went back to sleep, so I just got up at 6, and my goal was to leave at 7, and I did it. But then I decided to stop and get gas. I had enough to get there, but I don't like getting gas at unknown places. I want to get it in my own environment, so I got gas before I left. So I have enough to get there and back. And our gas is still $1.38, $1.35 a gallon. What's yours? Not $1. I lied. $3.30. I get an upgrade. $3.38. I think I said $1.38. I wish. No, it's $3.38 a gallon. They reimburse you for gas? I don't know if they do. They said if you have to spend the night, lodging will be provided if you ask for it. So like if I was on a really long trial, I would just drive my RV down there and spend the night. But Jamie goes, do you stay and they do the trial right then? I don't know. After they pick a jury quickly? I don't know. That would be great if they did, so I go home and I'm done for today. Because tomorrow, Carolyn and I are going to do some other things. What were we going to do? I forgot. But we have planned every day. Oh, I think we were going to go to the temple tomorrow. Because we love being in the temple as sisters together. We make Jamie and Rob come too, though. We plan everything, and then they have to do what we say. Because it's all about us. No, if they had a plan, I think Rob wants to go to the Avion. They had built airplanes in our town. It's the Avion. And I said, go today. But I don't know if he will. He can do whatever he wants. And Jamie, he has his reunion coming up. So he's going to go to the grocery store and get the groceries. He's out of milk and bread. So he's going to go get milk and bread and anything else he needs to cook up for his reunion. I think you're only supposed to bring one thing, but he's bringing baked beans, funeral potatoes, and watermelon. So he's overloading and bringing. He's probably trying to show off for his family. I don't really care what he brings. And he knows how to cook all those himself, so I'll just let him go for it. Putting on the dog for his family. Now, and he said he wants to see Todd's the one who planned this reunion. So then he wants to help his son, so that's fine. Alright, I talked 14 minutes, and that is long enough for somebody talking who doesn't have anything to say. I'll keep you posted what's next. Alright, part 2 of my jury duty, 11 o'clock, and I get to go home. That means I was excused, and I'm quite happy about it. Because it was DUI, but they let us know ahead of time that it was not an alcohol. And evidently the guy accused of frauding and cheating on the test somehow, so it came up that I don't know how he did it or what he did, because I didn't have to hear it. So anyway, here's what happened. You go in there and you stand in line, and the cops are there. You have to go through like the airport. But before that, they tell you, do you have your phone on you? If you do, go put it out in your car. So everybody mostly is walking back out to put their phone in the car. Then you go in and you go up to the counter and they give you a number. I was juror number 9, and I think there were 21 or so, I don't know how many, but a couple didn't show up. And then the judge at the end said, we will deal with the people who didn't show up. So I don't know what they do. Okay, so we're all sitting there after we go through the metal detector thing. I passed. They had to look in my purse. The police did, and I said, would you like a mint? An Altoid? And he goes, an Altoid? I said, would you like one? I said, you want me to dump my purse out? Because, you know, it's just a bunch of junk, but he didn't want me to. So we go and sit there, and everyone's saying where they're from and what time they had to get up and all that kind of stuff. And then we waited there for about 20 minutes, getting everybody there, and then we go into the courtroom and wait another 15 minutes or something. It didn't even get started till 9:30, and all the attorneys come in, and the accused criminal came in, and then the judge came in later. We all had to stand for the judge to come in. Then they start telling the rules and asking the questions. And do you know any law enforcement? And I had to raise my hand. Yeah, my brother and my 2 brothers are in law enforcement, homicide detective and an attorney. And then, have you ever been a felon? And of course, no. Did you ever get in crime? I got cut off. I think my phone it was in the sun and it got heated up waiting in the car. I had to wait for it to cool down. So anyway, they dismissed me because I knew too much about and had too much opinion on everything. They asked if I had any previous knowledge of, you know, the DUI and the criminal justice and all that stuff. And of course I do. So I've heard my brother talk about it. And I told him, I watch YouTube cops all the time, and I think that addicts can't help it, but they're self-centered. Rehab doesn't work. So I was too opinionated. So if you're opinionated, they don't want you. It's easy to get off jury duty. Just go, and then when they start asking questions, one lady got off right off the bat because she said that she thinks that cops jump to the conclusion and she could not, you know, be impartial. And then another guy got let out. The judge told him he could go because he pointed to the 2 sheriffs that were in there, that one came and did a search at my house that wasn't legal, and he searched everything and he shouldn't have been. He named his name, and anyway, he got dismissed too. So anyway, I was glad. Even though you feel like a failure, it's kind of like an eye test. When you go get your eye test as a child and they tell you, they send the papers home with you to your mother that you flunked the eye test. You feel like a failure, and you're like, it's not my fault, I couldn't see. Well, it's like getting kicked out of the jury pool because you don't think like they want you to think. So you flunked and you're gone. But I'm glad because I have other things to do. They're taking time for my YouTube channel. But the judge was real nice. He thanked us all for our participation and for showing up and everything. So that was it. That was my experience with jury duty. Hopefully I never get called again. Oh, and the break-off is 72. He said, we only have one person over 72. Do you want to do it? And he said he did. So they didn't even give me a choice at 70. So, but I did tell one guy that I was 70, and he said I looked young for that. Well, thank you. but he could be lying. Because, people lie. But he got caught. He was getting to do it. I know his brother's my neighbor. And they chose him because he didn't say one thing. He just sat there listening the whole time and didn't have any comment. So that's if you want to be on jury duty. And they only chose 6. I don't even know if they choose an alternate. I didn't count them up there. It just seemed like there were 6. So, and I think it's just going to be this afternoon, the trial. I don't think they'll have to come back or anything. And they could stay as long as 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm glad I got out of there. I'm glad I flunked the test. Good. They don't want to hear my opinion, and that's what you get is your opinion that, there's no... I kind of gave the opinion that I think there's no hope for addicts, which I do think there is a hope for addicts, but they have to want to. You can't force them into it. And I did say that I have different ideas for how the laws should be, and that the judges don't really, they have to go by the law and not really what they think is the best. And I'll tell you why I think that. When I was married to the alcoholic, and he got a DUI, and he had to do jail time, well, they wanted him to do the jail time during the week and everything, and that is not right. Do the jail time on the weekends, because that's when they always get drunk. So go put him in jail on every weekend. That will make him stop. Don't give him a big fine. That hurts the wife at home with the children. He had to pay fines, so he couldn't pay the household bills. I had to pay the household bills with my sewing money and stuff. And then he gets off scot-free of his home obligations while he's sitting in jail and can't go to work and has to pay fines. No, that's not the punishment. Stick him in jail every night so they can't drink. And, anyway. But the judges don't want to hear what you think. So I never got to tell a judge what I really think. But anyway, I'm just glad I got off. Good. Because I probably wouldn't be a good juror anyway, because I already have my preconceived assumptions. Not that he's guilty or not, but that, I've even heard how they hide things and get away with it. And that's what that guy was involved with. So, I know we've all had life experiences and we all have different opinions. So don't judge me from my opinion. Don't unsubscribe because I didn't pass the jury selection. Because maybe you wouldn't be able to pass it either. So, I'm just telling you my experience with jury duty. Now, Carolyn texted me, but I didn't get to read it till I got out of the court. And she is making her jam that Jamie got the pot out and the berries. And so she's making her jam. So when we go home, hopefully she didn't load it in her car and we'll get to see it. And then Jamie went to the store, she said. But he left some chicken on to boil. I don't know what chickens he's boiling. Because I didn't think we had any. Is he planning dinner tonight? I don't know why he's cooking chicken. We had chicken, not last time, but the night before I had chicken. So I don't know what he's doing. And I know Jamie, he'll only be focusing on his family reunion on Saturday. And so he's going to start preparing for that. I told him, you don't need to cook today for your family reunion because we still have 2 more days. And you can't cook it it'll be old food if you cook it now and put it in the fridge. So, but he doesn't listen to me a lot of times. Oh, that was a horrible view. He doesn't listen to me much of the time. I was shaking my arm. I went over the line on that side. So, he won't listen to me. But anyway, he'll do what he wants. And then if I'm right and he's wrong later, then he acts like it was his idea. That was my idea. But it's okay. I've been married to him for 30 years, so of course I know. I can predict and I know everything that he'll do and what he'll say and everything. But part of being married is you love him anyway, and you overlook a lot, and that's what I do. And while I was in there waiting, I was making a list of things I could do on my YouTube channel still. So Carolyn will be gone next week. What am I going to do? Who will be my floating partner? There's smoke over this way, kind of hazy. I know Oregon is on fire, and so is the Grand Canyon. And I know people who went camping in the Grand Canyon, and they got evacuated because of the fire. And the night before, they went to that Grand Canyon Lodge and saw it, and they're probably some of the last ones that saw it. Now, I didn't even know there was a Grand Canyon Lodge. When I went there, we didn't go to the north side. So we went to the other side or whatever, I guess. So I didn't see any lodge. Now, I've been to Yellowstone Lodge, Old Faithful Lodge there. It's probably kind of the same, but it burned. That is very sad. I don't know if anybody died in the Grand Canyon fires. Have you heard? I don't know. And so, we're always sad about the disasters, Mother Nature disasters, the Texas flood, and all those little girls and people lost in that flash flood. That's very sad. And I don't want people to think I'm frivolous and not thinking about that, because I am. And then those little angels went to heaven. How great shall be their reward. It's very sad. And the parents left behind is the sad part too. The families left behind. Okay, I've talked enough, and I will make all of this, put this with when I got here, beginning of my jury duty. And now I had a new experience to add to my list of life's experiences. Twice now I've been kicked off jury duty. No, I don't really care. I'm not a very good decision maker, and you probably already have seen that about me. You guys know me so well, you could probably list all my faults and all my beliefs and all my imperfections, my mishaps. You could just make a list of me and say, this is the person she is. I just, can't be her friend, or I want to be her friend, or I don't trust her, or, whatever. You probably assumed it all about me, but that's fine, because I'm an open book about most things. Some things I'm not. But, we had so much fun with the family yesterday, the sisters and the brothers. When you're old, you just get a different opinion of everybody than when you were young. So it's funny when you grow up to be friends, and you think, would we be friends if we weren't siblings? Would we still like each other? I don't know. If we just met each other somewhere, would we be friends? And I didn't get to talk to Shauna as much as I wanted to, and I got to talk a lot to Amy and David, and David hugged me, and he was so nice, always nice to me. And Amy, she's more like my sister too. She's not a sister-in-law. And Janice was so sweet and nice, and so we didn't have any fighting problems. We never really have had disagreements or fighting problems. So that's good, because I know some families, my children probably have had fighting problems with each other. So anyway, it was fun. I keep thinking of that, and I don't know when we got pictures, and I don't know when the next time we'll get to see each other, because our mom and dad are gone, so we aren't going to their funerals. You know how everybody comes out for the funeral, and so I don't know when we'll see each other next. I'm going to see David and Amy in August, because we're going to go camping with them. And I'll see Carolyn and Rob then too. And Shauna's going on a cruise with her kids during that time. I don't know what Larry's trips are. He just got back from Switzerland, and somewhere around there. He went with his son and family. And then I don't know when I'll see Lisa next either. They have a timeshare in Florida, so they go there. I think it's September. So we all have lots of kids and lots of family other than each other. Because I'll tell you, Larry has 6 kids. Carolyn has 7 kids. Shauna has 4. Lisa, well, I have 6. Lisa has 7. And David has 4. So we all have a lot of kids and grandkids that we also have to visit during our free time and our traveling times. So, busy life. The more people you get involved in your life, the busier you are. So, if you don't want a busy life and lots of people in your life, don't have a bunch of kids. Because it complicates everything. Plus stepkids. Some of us, let's see, I had 4 stepkids from Jamie. And I don't think anyone else really had them. Lisa had one with one husband, but they divorced, and so she didn't have them really. She never knew them or met them, I don't think much. And Cameron, my son, has them, but I don't think the siblings, because Larry, Carolyn, David, they've only all been married once. Shauna didn't have any stepkids. Oh, she did when she was married to that one guy, but she didn't really get involved in their lives. She didn't raise the kids. So, I'm the only one probably that has stepkids that has to learn how to live with them and deal with it and have them in your life. And then Jamie has all my kids. But you would never know the difference. He's such a good stepdad. He thinks of mine, and some of my grandkids are his favorites. And because he grew up around them and saw them every day, and they came over. So you can't hold it against you. It's the people you see all the time that you love all the time because you know them and around them. If you only see them twice a year, how are you going to know them very well? And little children don't write letters to you or, talk to you or anything. So you don't even really know them. So it's hard. You love them because they're your relative. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop because long videos are too hard to cut, whatever that app's called, and make into one big long video. Then sometimes I have to do part 1 and part 2 because it won't work. So I got to end it. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.